And when you look at that, it just makes the 10mm setup a little shorter. And that's the magic to get up in there. Don't go to Land Rover no matter what happens, rather push it off a cliff or something. Otherwise, Land Rover is always going to tell him it needs a new turbocharger. Okay, a little bit smoke, needs a new turbocharger. Restricted performance, needs 2 new turbochargers. A little bit of oil in the intake, 3 new turbochargers. Or the car has only 2, doesn't matter, it needs 3. We gotta take the entire exhaust system, including DPF, out of this vehicle and put it into this vehicle over here. And then we gotta take the one out of this one and put it into this one over here. And the reason is we changed them originally because we had a DPF problem, and now we gotta reverse this back because we wanna sell this vehicle. Now, taking an exhaust system out of EU6 with DPF is not your simple job like on your LS V8. So removing the DPF is quite tricky because you have to take the cross member out, and the upper connection is all the way up in there. And here my camera girl shows up, all motivated. So first stupid bracket disconnected and removed.
Good.
Okay, just for accessing that stupid nut.
From the cross member.
Okay, I removed the entire sensor bracket up here. I think that's the easiest way. Oh yeah, you gotta take the front drive shaft out to get to that nut, of course. It's a Land Rover. Okay, we gotta disconnect this control module.
The background noise is provided by Robin.
This module got to stay with the exhaust system, and it's also not possible to disconnect it here. I already explained why we're doing all this, but I'm sure not everybody understood the purpose behind it.
Yes, and it cannot be solved by cleaning the DPF. And yes, there are many companies who do that, but that is not the problem here.
Okay, the problem on this vehicle is not a DPF fault or reduced performance. The problem with this DPF is it lets too many particles through. And the reason for that is there is a hole burned into the DPF, and there is no way to cure this other than replacing it, okay? In Germany, they measure the number of particles let through by the DPF in an EU6 vehicle. In an EU5, they don't do that. They just look at the pollution coming out in the back. But here they actually count the particles. And in EU6 has a limit of 250,000 particles. When it is functioning, it produces about 5,000 or 6,000 particles. That's it. That's all what's going through. That's actually less than what the air is sucked in a city. Okay, so the vehicle is having less particles coming out of the muffler than it's sucking in the front. That's how good they are. And on this one, it lets through about 600,000 particles. And I believe the limit is 250,000.
So that's the background noise. Robin is working on his welding table.
So now we can remove the cross member. So I take the weight off here. Okay. Gonna get this rubber off here. Goes out.
Yes.
Okay. This is the DPF line, and it comes off. Okay. Okay.
And it's stupid that you have to take the drive shaft off.
Yeah. Oh, come on. Okay. Take that out with breaking minimal stuff. Okay.
So you have to raise up the transmission and transfer case in order to get the prop shaft out.
In order to get the exhaust out, you gotta lower the transmission down, okay? So it's transmission up, transmission down,
yes.
Transmission up.
Trick is to open it all the way.
Yes, yeah.
All the way.
Here we got this set of 10mm sockets from Arthur out of Las Vegas. And that includes a 10mm socket to 3/8 inch combined with a joint. And when you look at that, it just makes the 10mm setup a little shorter.
Much shorter.
And that's the magic to get up in there.
Yeah, so Arthur, you just know exactly what a Land Rover mechanic needs. And my job is to provide light.
And that's number 1.
Yes.
magic.
Yes.
Ooh, that thread is a little bit beat up.
Do you have a new bolt?
I think so.
He's working down here and I'm providing light up here.
Yeah, so that's a really tricky one. And in order to open this bolt, the transmission gotta be lowered, and you need that special 10mm socket from ASA out of Las Vegas, okay? Don't even attempt it without that socket.
I just want to film the drop. Oh, it was cool.
Because the socket is a little shorter, the angle where I can get to it is a little flatter, okay? So just call ASA and get yourself that socket. It's not that big of a deal. And
Opening the last bolt.
that goes through the wheel arch, okay?
Yes.
You usually realize that when you already tried for half an hour to do it from underneath.
It's not true, I told you.
Okay. So this is the setup I used here, okay? I got this Harbor Freight ratchet, which is really narrow, and it got, you know, but it's still very long to reach in here, okay? You gotta stay away from work. So this worked great too. So
yes.
Those are tools which pay off big time. So now we're gonna remove the muffler. See how easy that is if you got the right plier.
Yes.
And you open that every 2 months.
Yes.
I always leave the rubber mounts with the muffler, okay? And it's off now.
Cool.
It's now sitting completely with its entire weight on our post here. Better.
Yes, I like the transmission stand.
Now I lower it here a bit.
Yes.
Okay, if you watch real closely, we had to remove the rear wheel to get enough room. Now we're gonna lower it, and then you have to move most likely this way. Stop it. Take my safety strap off. Good, we go back. Okay, stop it. And now all the way down. Stop it. Okay, now we move it back. That thing is out. Now we gotta get this vehicle off the lift and put the other one on where we're gonna steal it from. Good.
So now we'll take the exhaust out of Prince Charming. Good.
Okay. Damn it. Okay, drive shaft out.
So Christian and I are completely capable of screwing that up and putting in the wrong into Prince Charming again.
Okay, now it's this one.
So my job is now finding 2 new seals, exhaust seals. I have here all my gaskets and seals. Here I have a box with exhausts, but it looks like he's got 2 new ones in the correct size. So you see here the whole pattern completely lines up. We use a Chooser brand, so here's the part number. Yeah, just a little bit of rust protection while we are in there.
I really squirted in WD-40 like crazy on those bolts up there. Actually, it was a rust solvent and it has a certain smell.
Yeah, exactly, rust solvent. The consistency is completely different from transmission or engine oil, so
Yeah,
don't
but
worry.
Still, it was quite shocking.
Yes.
Okay, here's the old one. The new one goes on. Good. Okay. Forward. Slow.
So the turbo side of the exhaust is tight and torqued almost. It's easier if you take off the wheel. That's something I learned last week. That is a triangular bolt. And the correct one is a round bolt, right?
Yeah, and it's non-magnetic for some reason.
Yeah, so that sucks if you drop it.
Vera doesn't believe me.
No, I
today,
believe
okay?
you.
Okay.
Cool.
I get click, click,
Good.
click, click. Shaft only fits if you raise the gearbox all the way back up. This is not like your roomy Jeep.
Switch.
So front prop shaft torqued. Good. One here marked. Okay, this one. And now I gotta turn this up there to have access.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and now this one. Okay, this one, and where's this one here? And then plug it in. There.
Screw goes back in.
What an adventure.
Everybody has its
Okay.
happy little place.
Okay, and the DEF fluid goes back on, which is the most useless invention in the world of automotive history. The sleeve here gets secured with a tie wrap. That's how Land Rover wants it. So, good. So, new 3 tie wraps go on here. There's 4 pieces, and this one also here. Okay, now the cross member goes in.
Still well greased from last time.
Okay, and now we can set the transmission down, and we gotta raise the stupid gas tank cover back up. Okay. I think that's tight enough. And 115. And crossmember is back in, but
And all brackets and heat shields are back on.
yeah, and this little fuel pump here, this is all tightened.
Yes.
Rusty, but other than that, this thing gotta still go on here.
Yeah.
Click, click. Did you hear it?
Yes.
Click, click. So I think Prince Charming is complete. Well, I still gotta put the wheel on, but I got all the heat shields back in here and the covers on. I got all the exhaust hangers mounted. That's important that we didn't miss one. This one is in, all the cables are on, and no oil leaks on this car. That's good. So I think that one is done. We got them torqued to 70 and the rest when the wheel is on the ground.
3/4 of the stupidest repair ever done is done. He only does that because of the camera. I get comments.
What do you think, how many faults it got?
0.
Exactly. One shot.
One shot. Woo! That is close.
We definitely need to do some maintenance on our lift.
Yes.
People always ask us, what kind of maintenance do you do on your lift? The answer is nothing.
It looks like it's in beast mode. First things first, we have to take off the cross member.
Yeah. Which was just for transportation purposes put on.
Yeah. Then we have to lower the transfer case.
Good. Second
one.
Okay. 26 Newton meters. Click, 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 click.
And the final torque.
Click, click, click. Good.
Yes.
And now there's very little room to get this in.
And now 10 minutes later,
The second stage is.
the second stage. And now 5 minutes later again, and it's in. And in our video, it looks like one smooth movement done in 5 seconds. So look at that. I thought that is a balancing cut, but it's not. You move it over here so you can screw on and torque that screw.
I show you the balancing cut. What
Ah,
they
the
are
holes.
the balancing holes, and they are
flange.
not from a machine which I sold. Okay.
Oh my God.
So what kind of idiot bought this machine? The fluid goes on.
So we have these 33 clips, and then I'll take 4 tie wraps, and you just make them yourself. Your fir tree tie wraps.
Yes, and that's much cheaper, okay? When I buy these in a pack of 100 without tie wraps and then buy the tie wraps from Amazon, it's about a quarter of the price. It's Knipex.
So you pronounce the K. Yeah.
This one goes back.
Yes.
And you've seen this before today.
Yes. You've seen this enough times already.
I got it in the wrong hole.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. The stupidest repair is done. The car is for sale, but it's not yet ready. We still have to deep clean it. We got to change a couple of oils probably and do a little bit of other stuff.
Also, these rims will come off and we're gonna put the original rims on, which are the silver ones, and they're gonna get the Goodyear tires.
So I picked up Prince Charming's new wheels. Look at that. And I cleaned Prince Smallcroll's OEM rims. I did not film the cleaning because Christian would get a heart attack while he edits the footage.
Vera bought the Pirelli Scorpion all-terrain this time. Look at this red. Awesome. And look at the sidewall protection here. This is also nice. So hopefully they're gonna do good for us. They're gonna look really good on the car. Unfortunately, my wheel spacers are not here yet. These rims gonna get also new tires now, and they're gonna go on our Prince Smallcroll. And she did a really nice job cleaning those. I did not get these as clean, and I did clean them, okay? I know it doesn't look like it, but my job was not as good as hers, okay?
Yes, I used a different tool, which he would get a heart attack if he would know.
Yeah, and she makes a secret out of it. Let me continue my science project for our viewers here.
Yes.
Oh, you have your magic tool?
A magic tool.
Oh, and you're using this side?
Yes.
So this is the rim cleaner we use, okay, from Green, and I buy it in a 3-liter bottle. This way it's much cheaper. Then I filled it into this bottle, okay, which I also used for Vertan before. And now Vera said if we spray this on, we'll make a little test here. You can see it turns from blue into purple, and when it's all purple, then it's done reacting. And Vera said we're gonna have to use her kitchen sponge here. So I'm gonna be really careful with this on my black rims, because it might show up with scratches on black rims, but not on silver rims. So I'll give it a minute and I give it a try. Like I said, I cleaned them here and I could not get it through with my brushes, because I was careful. Let's see if she's right. And I have to be really careful using water here on my car at home in a YouTube channel, because Germans go ballistic if you put a drop of water into the sink and it has any kind of detergent on there. They think the planet is gonna die and everybody in Germany is just gonna die of poisoning and so on. So I'm just gonna show you guys this a little bit like this, okay? That's all you're gonna see, and then I'm gonna dry it off with a towel, and then whatever I get here on my ground, I'm gonna wipe it off with a tissue, and then I put the tissue in the trash where it gets burnt, because we don't have any landfills. It says on here with a mild scent. Okay, I think this is kind of understating it. So I'm kind of done waiting. It's already some purple, so I'm gonna use the soft side first, see if it gets it off. I'm not sure. Use the cleanest rag we have here at home. No, not yet. So we're gonna give it a second try, and then we use the rough side. Scientific project, don't you agree? So while we wait, we can do the air pressure. When you get tires from the tire shop, they always overfilled here in Germany. Always check filling, not exhausting. There we go. And that science project is complete. Let's try the rough side of her special sponge. I'm concerned that this is ruining the paint. This is not really rough like on cheap kitchen sponges, okay? It actually feels kind of soft. If this is all scratched up, I'm gonna get mad. Okay, this is all real time. I'm not gonna do much more than this, because everything more would be kind of unrealistic, because you got other things to do in your life. Okay, we'll try now if this did the job. Wow, she is absolutely right. Check this out. This is my result, which looks like it never got cleaned. And this is what I got with her special sponge. I'm gonna find out what brand this is, and I show it in the video description. This is not your typical kitchen sponge, okay? It's something very special. It feels soft and it's not abrasive here. Another 8 hours and I got all of these done. So I couldn't resist and I did the full rim. And it's a lot of work, okay? It's at least 15 to 20 minutes per rim. And I had to do it twice, but Vera is right. It takes everything off and the rim is not scratched, okay? It's really nice. Yeah, it's still a little bit wet from my wet towel here. And this is not lint free, so I apologize. But here you can see in the reflection, it's not scratched. Yeah. And for our Range Rover Sport drivers, yeah, if you do that on your 4 rims, it will take you busy for 2 Saturdays.
That's like being mean.
Our Range Rover Sport drivers are the ones who are interested in this. They got 24-inch black
That
glossy
is true,
rims.
22-inch, 24-inch.
They got 24-inch, okay?
Yes.
So this is really a video for the Range Rover Sport drivers. And I mounted these now without the rim spacers. That kind of sucks, so we have to take them off at one point again.
Yes.
Yeah. See, Vera's car got the wheel spacers on it, and it just looks so much better.
So much better.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And these are actually 25mm rim spacers, and they road legal in Germany. Okay. That's the suspension on this car. On my Bankruptosaurus Rex mystery discovery here, which we haven't even started, okay, it's gonna need that same job. But this car has road legal 30mm spacers without an alteration of the wheel arches. This is really cool. I'm gonna show you guys the papers when we work on this car, okay? But we haven't even started it yet. Bankruptosaurus Rex needs to take a little bit longer. Philip, how's it going?
Good.
Excellent.
It's my shoulder.
Is your shoulder okay?
Yes, but did Emerson arrive already?
I don't know.
Important.
You know what? You're ruining our lawn here.
It's you guys, not me.
Not us?
Christian, you have 2 parked.
I drive.
Okay, but this one is stationary, and this one I only parked today because Robin hogged our parking spot here with his company van. Then somebody hogged this parking spot, and also something hogged our parking spot on the lift. But I guess that's a okay problem to have too many Discoveries, then you have parking spots, okay? And now I tighten these with 140 Newton meters. And this is how you make a science project out of mounting your new tires with your old rims. Okay, going on a test drive with our new tires. I torqued them, I checked the air pressure. I asked ChatGPT about the running direction, and there is none, but there is supposed to be a marking outside, which there is none. So we're only gonna get like maybe 20 comments that we mounted them in the wrong running direction. I think that's all, right?
Yes. You know, guys, when we rearrange something for a short moment, we don't mount the tires according to spec.
No, the correct answer is, why don't you go and organize your sock drawer? Because if I would look into it, I would find something wrong with it. 100% for sure. We got in average 40,000 people watching what we do. And some of them find things wrong which would have actually consequences. And I cannot tell you how thankful I am for those comments when they point me doing something wrong, which would have had serious consequences. This happened in the past. We usually refer to those comments then, and then we try to correct it in the next video. So this is very important to have a community where everybody has his eyes on my hands and not Vera's butt when we're working on stuff. So I really do appreciate that.
Yes, I think so too. But what I also want to say is, I answer our comments with a lot of emojis right now. The reason is I get about 1,000 comments, emails, messages on all platforms
Every week.
including Patreon, every single week, and I just cannot manage it. otherwise.
I mean, it's very time demanding and time consuming to read comments and to answer comments. But we do read them as much as we can. Hang on, I gotta correct the height. It's when it's coming off the lift, always a little bit screwed up. Normal height activated. So yeah, but we're gonna try in future also to do a good job, and we are thankful for the comments also from the desktop mechanics. Okay, these are all important comments. Just when we have 10 comments telling us the tire was mounted wrong and it was just leaning at the wall wrong, then this is kind of annoying to us. And I said it's a performance SUV.
Oh, when did you say that? That was a stupid
We're gonna have to
statement.
give it some beats.
Oh my God, I'm gonna get sick to my stomach and I hate that. Oh,
This car
thank
is
God
just
there is
so
a bus in front of us.
freaking awesome.
You're not gonna pass a bus.
This engine is just so incredible. I like it so much.
Look at that.
Our green is back. This
Maybe
is
for
very
5
seldom,
seconds.
okay?
So Christian broke it again. It lasted 5 minutes.
Yeah, it's really sad.
Yeah.
Okay, but we saw it all. We have it on camera. It was green and it looked absolutely beautiful. It raised the value of this car by $1,000. Even a Range Rover Sport driver would be interested in a Discovery having this green.
He just doesn't.
Now it's green again. This is driving me nuts.
No, turned it off.
Okay, but see, now the engine is off and it's still green because I got the daylight driving lights on. If I turn them now off and back on, this stays off.
Turn on the car again. It comes on.
It comes on.
So stop it.
It's not
No,
working on our other
stop it,
Discoveries like
stop it,
this.
stop it.
Okay, this
Now,
is gonna be
no.
a marriage crisis.
I'm cleaning here our Prince Smallcrawl, who is ready to be sold. And look at that. I mean, why on earth can you not fold that seat up? And, you know, like those two. And just for the cleaning purposes. So here you have your tiny little trunk in a Discovery 4 if you need the 7 seats. And I do wonder if Christian will remember to remove his DIY bolts here. I'm gonna tell him to do though. I'm done with my first round of vacuuming, except for underneath here. That bothers me so much. Remember Christian said that I cleaned the rims, and I said that too. That is a sponge I used. Spontex FlexiFresh. So here's the sponge. When I clean the inside of my cars, I use the Word R1 Universal Cleaner. Christian uses the stuff from Lidl. But it's just a cleaner. It's not a conditioner. And I know the comments are coming. Well, you have to be able to fold that seat up and the other outer one in order to get in here. Still, that is not an excuse not to have that seat, a fold-up seat. Now Christian is back home. That complicates everything. When I work on a car, because in Christian's opinion, I do everything wrong.
No.
Or not good enough.
Say that.
Or it is forbidden what I do.
This looks stupid, I gotta say. This is too new. Yeah, we put the old one on. This one looks too new.
Yeah.
I think I'm working on the absolute last repair of my Prince Smallcrawl here, because it's already in the paper, and tomorrow the first buyer is gonna look at the car, potential buyer. When I drive these vehicles myself, I have some cheap Chinese tires on them, on my dark rims, and now I put on the original rims with the original Continental tires, and they're still good, but I got actually a running noise here in the front. I think that noise was actually just overwhelmed by the noise of my cheap Chinese tires. And now I thought better take that wheel bearing apart, so when the new potential buyer drives it, that he doesn't recognize a noise in the front. So here's the wheel bearing. This is an original bearing on this car. It's a Timken. I feel some rough spots in here, and I'm pretty sure this is the root cause. Okay, so good thing I'm gonna put in a new wheel bearing. This thing would have failed. They can also last forever. You just don't know. I think it has to do with the tightening torque, what they use in the plant. They changed this also at one point, but I think they have an inaccuracy in that nut runner. Or maybe when Larry is doing it on Monday after Manchester United lost, you know that story, then everything gets screwed up. For me, this was now a really easy job here on the lift. and I don't even need to film it. I take the brake caliper off, take the disc off, I take the dust shield off, because then I can hit the old wheel bearing here with a hammer, and I don't even have to take the ball joint apart. Even though I took the nut off, I never had to loosen this. I have the ignition on, so I can move the steering like this, back and forth to do this job. This way I can get to the bolts. One more secret is that I use a 15mm short ball joint impact socket. This way I can get directly to these bolts without any hassle, and I just wind them out. So to get to this stage took me less than 15 minutes. Now I clean this up, loop it with anti-seize, put the new bearing in, and I'm pretty sure that noise is gone. Here's the new wheel bearing. I'm using a miler this time. Another questions people ask a lot is, do you have to replace those bearings in pairs? And no, you don't. You replace components in pairs which affect the driving ability of the car, the handling ability. So the brakes, the shocks, the suspension components, stuff like this. But if you have a mechanical component like this, you can only replace one side, and this is perfectly fine. It's leaving an OEM Timken in there, which is still good after 151,000 kilometers. It will statistically last longer than the aftermarket miler, even so that's a good bearing, but statistically these have a higher fallout rate than OEM, that's for sure. Now all I gotta do is clean this up, put anti-seize on it, put it back together and torque it properly. That's very important. So got this nicely copper greased. There we go. Now I gotta turn the ignition back on to turn this into the angles to get the bolts in. Turn this over this way. Do not lubricate the hub here, okay? We're gonna tighten this with the brake applied. Forgot to tighten the drive shaft nut without Vera, damn it. Okay, got this one to 230 Newton meter tight. And this is how you do a job like this without receiving a single question from your wife.
Okay, so the wife is back and is allowed to ask 1,000 questions. Yeah, so the wheel bearing is shot.
Listen. This wheel bearing would have worked for another couple thousand kilometers, I'm sure, but it's annoying, okay?
So let's hope it solves the problem.
Tomorrow we got the first prospector, okay? He's very serious, he wants to bring the money, he wants to take the car home. I told him that would be the first time ever that somebody comes to me, brings the money and takes the car home. Okay, so I'm gonna test drive it now and see if the noise is gone.
Yes.
And like I already said at the beginning of this clip, this was probably the last repair on this car, but you gotta do some more cleaning tomorrow.
What?
Okay? Yeah, I show you where.
Oh.
Because I'm at work. Yeah, remember my lecture a few minutes ago that you only need to replace the side which is broken? Yeah, because it fixes the problem exactly by 50%. So now I gotta do the other side too, and this one is putting up a fight. So many times people ask, how do you get this hub out? Okay, it's all stuck, and then they ruin all kinds of stuff. The way you do this is you remove the entire knuckle, okay? This way you can press this out in your bearing press in your kitchen, okay?
Oh my God.
And listen.
That never happened to us on a Discovery before.
That's the noise we hear, so we're gonna have to put this on the press. So what's first gonna happen is that all this stuff you see here is gonna fall on the ground, and check Vera's shoes.
They're perfect for the job.
So she's not allowed to go anywhere near here. I also gotta watch a little bit the pressure. There we go. Careful, all this stuff may fall. Okay. We got it out now basically without any really excessive force, okay? Because when I press something like this out, I make sure the force goes where it belongs. And it only took like 5.8 tons, something like that.
The first side went out without any excessive force, and the second side it took 5 tons, which is excessive force in my world.
6, yeah.
Yeah, so just because you got the one side out doesn't mean you don't have a problem on the other side.
Yes, and of course, I drove the car in between, and like I said, it had still 50% of the noise left. And guess what? The only reason I heard that is because I was sitting on the passenger side, what never happens, because the driver's side, the new owner was sitting and driving, okay? He didn't notice it, but I said, I can't give you that car like this. And this car got a new owner. And trust me, he had such a smile in his face, and he can't wait to pick it up. But I gotta still fix that, and he has to do the registration and stuff, so he still has to wait a few more days. But there will be one more happy owner. And it was the first guy who came here and saw the car, and he said basically when he walked up to it, wow. And I knew, okay, that's a sale.
This baby was on the market, the online market, for less than 24 hours, and the first guy who contacted us actually bought it. And let me tell you something, in those 24 hours, we got some crazy comments.
Idiot comments.
Idiot comments. So just because a Discovery is for sale, especially from us, doesn't mean you deserve to buy it.
My ad was already pretty clearly worded, okay? I'm gonna put a ChatGPT translation for you guys right here. You're gonna have to pause the video to read it, okay? And still, some idiots wrote me messages and they disqualified like within the first sentence. They don't get it, okay? This is a car with a fair price and it's in excellent condition. And you can buy it or you can leave it, okay?
Yes.
But you don't start discussing something in writing like you would be some German lawyer. I'm sorry, Steffen, you are definitely not. And you lose your credibility immediately with me, and especially with Vera. And then there is no chance to buy the car.
Remember, guys, it's our decision who we sell this car to. This car will be granted to a buyer.
Unless you buy it from a used car sales dude, okay? The lowest species on earth.
Except for the guys who sold us Prince Charming.
Okay, yes, but the rest of them is the lowest species walking this planet.
Yes, and the sales guy from our first Princess Small Crawler was also a cool guy.
Oh, the guy who threw us the key over the counter and said, here, test drive it. Don't you want to know who No. He was a Greek guy, okay? He was pretty cool.
Yes.
Yeah, we should make a list and publish that on our channel with the people who did not qualify to buy a Discovery.
Yeah.
Okay? And then you have to imagine we got the 100% opposite walking into our driveway. It's like love at first sight, okay? Unbelievable. That guy walked in here with his friend. I didn't even shake their hand and I already knew they're gonna take this car.
Yes.
He loved it so much. And then when we drove it, I sat on the passenger side and gave him some instructions because it was his first one, okay? And then I noticed, well, this thing is noisy on the right-hand side. And I discussed it with him. And then they also heard it, okay? They heard it. But they were so overwhelmed by the power and the sheer comfort of this car that they would have never seen that. And then, 10,000 kilometers down the road, he would have had a bearing failure having to do this, okay? We do not want to ruin anybody's life. That's our goal when we sell a car. We want to make somebody happy. We're selling a family member, okay?
Yes.
And we don't need questions. Well, hypothetically, can you make me a list of the parts which will fail in the next 6 months because you fixed this engine yourself? Well, why don't you go and yourself?
No, don't say that.
I can beat that out.
Yeah. And also, we also got many lovely requests and emails in those 24 hours from brand new dads. Can you stop it?
From who?
From young families where, for example, the second child is on the way or the first child. We get a lot of those.
Yeah.
And they are looking for a super cool car which doesn't cost a lot of money. To all of you guys, don't buy a Discovery. That's just the way it is. When our kids were small, we drove a Mercedes. We couldn't afford a Land Rover. A Land Rover is for people who are willing to sacrifice the money.
One of the guys wrote me, well, the second child is on the way and he opened his own company and he needs a reliable Discovery 4 and he was looking around and this one seems to be good. And I wrote him a long email back and say, look, you got to consider this and that, and also the addiction factor. And when the car is bad, it's like your dog is sick and you can't put it down. You're going to fix it again. So think about that twice. It's still a Discovery 4. And then he writes me back, yeah, okay, living in Munich. Thank you for your advice. I think we rather look for something else. Okay?
And then you have
That's our job.
Yeah, and then you look for a Toyota because there's no other option.
Yeah.
And you have to spend 20,000 euros more.
This car is just not for everyone, okay? And not everyone deserves one. Your dad's here. We got to replace his battery.
Yes.
So here is a new Vata battery for Vera's dad's car. It's a Mercedes. I said I'm not going to use any more Vata, but that was the only one available. And his last one he bought from Mercedes, and it was 440 euros, including install, and it lasted 2.5 years. Warranty in Germany is 2 years.
This is a 2019 GLC, and it's about time my dad gets a Land Rover.
Yeah, we're working on that, okay?
Yeah.
Already since 10 years, but we're getting closer.
We'll have him drive Prince Charming for a while.
He liked the Queen.
Everybody loves the Queen.
Yeah, but I told him no, you're not gonna get a Queen. Okay, here we go. It's either gonna be an explosion, a fire, or everything is good. It's back on power, hopefully.
And remember, guys, red is black and plus is minus.
Yeah, that's how I connected it. Done.
First startup. So start it.
Dealership maintained vehicle, okay, and it was just recently there, and they did not replace the cabin air filter.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not only Land Rover.
Starts like a charm. It sounds weird.
It's a petrol engine, okay? It sounds weird.
Sounds weird.
Sounds like a bag of marbles and go like this.
Yeah, to a diesel head like me, it sounds weird.
But Mercedes is still unbeatable in the service position of their bonnet here. Check this out. All I gotta do is push this, and you gotta do the same, I think. And then this thing is gonna come from all the way up there down. This is just awesome.
Well, my Discovery has that too.
Yeah, but you gotta fumble around and unlatch the struts and use a little lever.
Yeah,
and pinch
because
your
they
finger
learned
and-
from my Land Rover. My Land Rover is a 2006.
Yeah,
and that's a 19.
Okay, well, if it retires and gets replaced by a Land Rover, I would think about driving it.
No, I'm not.
Except that it is not a diesel. Yeah. Oh, I did hear it.
No, I just wanted to say something to the young families wanting a super cool Land Rover Discovery, 3 or 4, which I completely get. But unless you are willing to treat it like a family member, like your dog,
Like your sick dog.
you have to be able to invest yearly into its well-being and the maintenance. Like here, a wheel bearing. A wheel bearing is a standard part that needs to be replaced at one point. And unless you want to do that, this is not the right car for you. So we install milder wheel bearings because, for once, you get new bolts. And look at that. Never seen that before. You get 2 wheel nuts. One to stake and one is, what do you call it, Christian? I don't know the English word. Looks cool. And which one are you going to install?
Discovery 4 gets the hugging one.
The hugging one. Oh. Now the new owner is a brand new Land Rover owner. He's never owned one before. And I do have to say I feel sorry for him because now we kind of ruined his life, which we do with every brand new Land Rover owner. Not because he buys a terrible car, he's gonna get a great car, but he's gonna be introduced to a way of life he did not know before. And a way of spending money he did not know before.
Yeah. Can you get me a 15mm half-inch drive?
Yes.
I got the ignition on, okay? So we sometimes have to hurry up.
I didn't know that. That's like stupid.
115. And why do I have the ignition on? So it doesn't lock the steering.
Oh, okay.
Okay. This one only gets 230 Newton meters, okay?
Yeah. So now the job is done and complete. We're gonna take it on our last test drive. It's such a good looking car. It was never my daily driver. So I'm not that attached to it, unfortunately. So I don't hear anything anyway, and Christian is all happy.
Yeah, this is now much quieter, okay? This is what you get when you drive rough off-road tires. You don't notice when your wheel bearings are going, like the Princess on the P.
Yes.
I'm taking our Prince Small Crawl onto its last drive, bringing it down to the customer in Würzburg. And I think I'm gonna fill this baby up completely. That's the difference between me and the lowest species walking this planet, used car salespeople. And of course, I filled up the car with gas completely, and it's completely clean, and I'm gonna drop it off. The car drives absolutely beautiful with the freshly put on tires and new brakes, new wheel bearings, new front suspension arms, complete service on all oils and gearboxes, then a rebuilt functioning engine with new pistons and new rings, and beautiful clean interior. The car is absolutely quiet and smooth. And diesel consumption, check that out if you drive on the Autobahn and you don't go crazy. 7.6 liters, okay?
Oh no, all the tools are still lying around. So I'm going on a trip, grabbing my emergency kit. Whenever I'm going on the Autobahn, even if it's only for 1.5 hours or 2 hours in that case, I want to have tools with me. Most importantly, my coolant hose clamp. We actually bought a second one into my emergency kit. So all complete now. And now I'm going to put it into my truck. Heavy. So in it goes. And that one also, my emergency kit. I always have oil, coolant and dishwash fluid with me. And of course I'm parked in by Mr. Lord Frankenstein. I could take, of course, Prince Charming. I would drive faster, but no. It's gonna take me at least 1 hour and 34 minutes. I have a full tank, so I don't have to get gas. I'm all prepped. It's raining. I'm still dressed for summer. So this is a German Autobahn construction site, and there's nobody working. It goes on forever. Forever. I just came from our Spain trip and everybody was working there, and on the French Autobahn, which is in perfect condition, and people are working there when there's a construction site. Oh, well, that's what you get when you are on a 4-lane Autobahn. But with a Discovery, even fully loaded, you can move on to the 3rd lane and still be respected. Oh, now there's fog. Oh, that sucks. I just want to see the pretty landscape. Panzer on the Autobahn. I love Autobahn driving. Oh, a Jeep gets towed. We had that Jeep as a V8. No. So I've been on the road now for an hour and there's not a single Land Rover inside. I have about 20 minutes left and I don't know where Christian is. He's either 5 minutes ahead of me or 5 minutes behind me.
Oh, look who I found. There's Vera in front of me. I caught up with her. Well, it's kind of easy to catch up with the Discovery 3 if you're driving a Discovery 4 SDV6, okay? This car here is just flying.
He's behind me! So, how cool!
There she is.
Look, here's Prince Smallcrawl.
Yeah, it's raining bad.
Oh, and now it's raining so heavy. Now Christian is in front of me, so I have to stick to the right lane, right behind him. That sucks. Oh, so I think he got the message. Glitzer. I'm so happy for the new owner. He's gonna get a great car. That's the final street. Oh my God.
So, done. We got the car handed over to the new owner. Look at that. There it's sitting here in Würzburg. Beautiful, okay? And I parked it there, okay? In the middle of the city here.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. There's an old Rangy in the same street.
Yeah.
Yeah. We got the luxury that we don't have to park. We just stop. Okay, that's it. And that's also all I can do. It was hard for me to maneuver this thing now into this parking spot here. Even when I park at work, I have my parking spot where I drive in and I stop. Okay, like an American.
Yeah.
So we certainly hope that the new owner is happy with this car and that nothing fails. And we told him, don't go to Land Rover no matter what happens, rather push it off a cliff or something. Otherwise, Land Rover is always going to tell him it needs a new turbocharger. Okay, a little bit smoke, needs a new turbocharger. Restricted performance, needs 2 new turbochargers. A little bit of oil in the intake, 3 new turbochargers. Or the car has only 2, doesn't matter, it needs 3. Don't do that to yourself. That pretty much ends our chapter Prince Mallcrawl. Our long-term viewers got to know that car when we first looked at it at a used car sales dealer, and then we fixed it completely. We had a lot of fun with it. Over many videos we did something to that car here and there.
Yeah.
And now we found a new home for it.
Yes.
And I think at this point we want to thank our Patreons a lot for their support, and
We'll see you next Sunday.
probably with another discovery. All she had to do is pick me up in Würzburg, and she's packed up like she's going on a 3-day road trip. Oh boy.